Hi there, my name is Hannah Corsi, and this is my final project for Women, Girls, and the Media. Before Instagram and social media, pop star icons like Marilyn Monroe had media outlets to deal with. Every time she stepped outside, thousands of people would try to get as close to her as possible, to touch her, or to get a picture of her. The media portrayed her as a dumb, blonde sex symbol that she played oftentimes in her movies, which was in stark contrast to her intelligent personality. Comments were oftentimes pointed at her voluptuous body and curvy figure, oftentimes sexualizing her appearance. In the article From Marilyn Monroe to Cindy Crawford, a historical analysis of women's body image depicted in popular magazines from 1952 to 1995, Jamie Nobles writes how understanding the treatment of Marilyn Monroe has to begin with understanding the attitude towards a woman's presence in society at the time. He says the goal for women in the 1950s was to find enjoyment in fulfilling their maternal and marital duties within the home. Despite her commercial and social success, she was a main course for the male gaze. Monroe was not ashamed of her sexuality and went against societal norms of her time. It can be argued, however, that by embracing her sexuality, she also embraced being a vehicle for male sexuality and expression. Her body was talked about and held as a beauty standard, which, for one woman, is a lot of pressure. While Marilyn Monroe was the main target for media in the 1950s, we still see trends like this today in generation stars like Miley Cyrus. While discussing her wildly talked about performance at the VMA award show where she twerked on live television, Alex Apoli writes in her article titled "The Biggest Feminist in the World, Miley Cyrus, Feminism and Intersectionality." She says, "Here was a young woman rejecting the rules that tells us that good girls need to be good and quiet." Miley Cyrus was effectively breaking out of her good girl reputation by showcasing her womanhood and sexuality by overindulging after a decade of sexual suppression by her Disney contracts, a company known for its family-friendly content. In a study discussed in Haley Ruward's dissertation titled "The Construction of Miley Cyrus, Reframing Media Sexualization, Discourse, and Media Effects on Children," talks about how groups of young girls and women were shown hypersexualized performances by Miley Cyrus and responded with critical judgments and disappointed remarks. But researchers agreed that knowing that there were adults watching and waiting for their reaction had made them feel awkward. The study concluded that while the girls may have truly felt betrayed by Cyrus's new bad girl appearance, the researchers felt that the girls were responding in a manner in which their parents and other adults would expect them to. Overall, watching a woman being criticized over the course of this study showed that even young girls were absorbing and being hurt by the dialogue and narrative being driven towards Cyrus, stating that much of the psychological literature convincingly suggested that the media's capacity for negatively affecting girls' self-image and health was an issue. Media and cultural study research has provided an alternative dimension, asking us to consider girls as being media literate, even if they are considered too young to be. The young girls were aware of how people were reacting to her bold actions and sexual exploitations and saw the negativity surrounding it and acted as such. Now, Cyrus is taking her creativity to remaking classic rock songs, fully embracing her unique sense of style that is more rock and roll than it is sexually charged. Her brand is now more mature, sexy, and grunge. Instead of trying to prove something while exploiting her sexuality, she presents herself as being comfortable and secure with who she is. Overall, the media has attacked and ripped apart women from the way they look for generations and generations. I think that since Marilyn Monroe's time, it's actually gotten worse. The media and paparazzi have made celebrities more accessible to people and capture stars while they're off guard. I do feel that people are being held accountable for the dialogue and narrative in outlets now, which is thankfully a largely welcomed part that is changing in modern media.